Hi, so today I want to talk about how slow breathwork supports mindfulness in everyday tasks. So picture this, you know what it's like when you are doing various things around the home, pottering around, washing up, cooking, things like that. And you are completely in your head. All you're doing is thinking about things that you should be or feel that you should be doing, conversations that you might have had previously with someone, things that you are looking to do maybe tomorrow, next week, next year even, but you're not actually focusing on that task at hand. When that happens, you then start to feel that those tasks are quite mundane and quite boring. Things like washing the dishes, which of course I suppose can be quite a mundane task, but it has to be done. And we all know that when you actually enjoy what it is that you're doing, or you bring joy into what it is that you're doing, that particular task just floats by, basically. So it's not something that takes too long to do. And you start to just, feel a little bit more appreciative of the time that you're spending on the particular thing at any particular time during the day. So slow breathing is the perfect time to start to bring that sort of gentle calm and balance into that particular moment, which will then in turn throughout your day, whenever you are coming up with a moment that you might deem to be mundane, it will start to become more and more of a practice, because you know, okay, so when I'm actually at the washing up the dishes, that I need to slow my breath down. So one of the things that you can do, or one of the breathwork sequences that you can do, is obviously heart breathing. I talk about this a lot. This is the breathwork exercise that I started doing when I first started bringing breathwork into my daily practice, as opposed to not just doing breathwork in the morning when I wake up, but actually doing, slowing down my breath throughout the day. And it was the 5-5 coherent breath sequence that I started to do initially, that resonant breath, which, as I've mentioned before, it brings coherence to your heart, to your lungs, to other organs, but it also brings coherence to the world around you, as opposed to being stuck in the head and into the thought patterns. So 5-5, always breathing in through your nose and into your diaphragm. So when you're just standing there at the kitchen sink and you're doing whatever you need to be doing, you're washing the dishes and everything, try not to, in fact, not just try not to, take yourself away from the thought pattern, because we don't need to be thinking as much as we think on a minute by minute, hour by hour basis. Really being in the present moment is where you'll find the answers to the questions that you ask yourself on a day-to-day basis. It's not within your thoughts. So that's a great way to, as I said, start to bring a little bit more sort of softness and gentleness in. So just slowing your breath down to that 5 count on the in-breath and 5 count on the out-breath. Also tracing that breath as it's coming in, as the air is coming in through your nose, feeling that cold air on your nose, feeling it expanding your diaphragm or your belly, and then just exhaling that out always through the nose. It will make sure that what it is that you're doing doesn't become mundane, but it might even become a little bit enjoyable. But also as well, if there is something that you are really needing to connect to, maybe you have set yourself an intention for that morning and you really want to be able to connect to source and allow that information to flow through you, you're only going to get that when you are slowing your breath down, because you're not focusing on the thoughts that are coming in. So whatever intuition is coming through for you for what it is that you need to do, you'll be able to actually connect to that. Second thing, when you are now you could be at your computer, you could be on your phone sitting in the car or something like that, obviously not driving, and you are looking at emails. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to be a bit of a skimmer when it comes to my emails. And the reason being is because I've got, obviously a lot of work that I'm doing. I've mentioned before that I'm also a branding and website designer. And so I've got a lot of things that are happening from, different areas. There might have been a client that I was thinking about just before I actually looked at an email. So what you really need to be able to do is to concentrate on that email as it comes into you, not seeing that email as, oh my God, I've got another email coming through, but to really take the time to connect with the person that has actually sent you that email, because at the end of the day, we're all energy, we all are one, and we need to be able to connect to each other in order for us to be able to harmoniously bring in whatever we need to bring in for each other at any particular time. So slowing your breath down at that particular moment is key. It really, really is, because you'll then be able to, as I said, connect strongly with the person that's actually sending you that email. We know that emails can be misconstrued as well, which does happen quite a lot. And that's because when we're looking at it, we're coming at it from a place of, thoughts and things that we might have thought from beforehand, or different types of conditioning that whenever words are coming through to you from somebody else through the email, we tend to look at it in a different way. So when you're actually slowing your breath down, it really does allow you to connect to the energy of that person that has sent that email. So trying that is perfect. One of the ways to do that, you could do maybe a 4-2-6 breath sequence where you're breathing in for 4 seconds. You're holding your breath for 2 and you're breathing out for 6. What that's also going to do is it's going to obviously harness you into that present moment, but it's also going to give you a little bit more energy as well to be able to actually accept what's coming through to you in that email. So we'll just quickly try that. So again, we're always breathing in through our nose. We're holding our breath for 2 seconds and we're breathing out for 6. One of the things that you can also do as well when you're actually holding your breath in for 2 is imagine breathing that in and it's actually coming into your heart. So you're breathing and you're holding your breath into your heart center before you expel that breath out. What that's going to do is actually bring you into that kind of love mode, if you like. So, and that compassion as well, so that whatever it is that you're reading at that time, you are, coming at it from a different perspective. You're not coming at it from a busy mind or a stressful moment. So we will start when I count you in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as I said, always making sure that you're breathing in through your nose, you're breathing into your belly. If you're not sure as to whether or not you're breathing into your belly and not your chest, hold on to your belly as you're breathing and you're looking at that email as it's coming through. You know then that you're breathing in the correct way. But I think the thing to concentrate more on is when you're holding your breath for 2, that you're holding that breath into your heart center so that you're really able to connect to the person that is sending you that email. Is super, super key. Now, we know what it's like when we are cooking. Now, for me, I am probably not the most adventurous cook. My food is very tasty, as my daughter tells me all of the time, and I love the food that I cook, but I don't really, branch myself out too much and do much. And I think it's probably because I spend so much time in creative mode in front of the computer all day, or, doing, breathwork journeys as well, that when it comes to me cooking, I tend to just, throw everything in and kind of get into that mode. But that's also a time when, if you let it, you'll allow your mind to just go wandering off, and do whatever it wants to do and think whatever it wants to think and tell you all the things that it shouldn't be telling you, and things like that. So having the time when you're actually cooking to bring yourself into the present moment is always key and perfect, particularly if you've had a stressful day already. Mainly when we're going to be doing our cooking for the evening, we're going to be doing it after a full day, whether you've either been out with people, meetings, might have had a little bit of stress when you come into the home or something like that. But when you are actually in front of the cooker and you're rustling up something nice, this is a really great way to be able to, and I'm going to take this on board a lot as well, is to really get yourself into what it is that you're cooking. So again, we can do a nice gentle 4-8 breath sequence here, which, as I've mentioned before, when you have that longer exhale, it really does allow you to get rid of stress in the moment. So that's just breathing in for 4 seconds and breathing out for 8 seconds. Again, always breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your nose as well, and also always breathing in through your diaphragm. So again, that's a perfect thing to do when you're there cooking. It might make you, like it would me, to really concentrate on what it is I'm actually doing and have more enjoyment for it. Whether or not I'm going to want to still rustle myself up something, a beautiful culinary delight, I'm not sure, maybe at some point, but at least it will allow me to enjoy what it is that I'm doing at that time. So the takeaway for today is that in order for you to be able to really bring slow breath into your world, into your day, minute by minute, hour by hour, you really need to be able to do it more on a more regular basis. And so if you can start with doing it and sort of trying to train yourself to sort of say, okay, well, now that I'm actually here washing the dishes, now that I'm here cleaning up in the kitchen, now that I'm reading emails, or now that I am doing and cooking some food, this is the time for me to slow my breath down. What you'll then find is that as the days progress, the weeks progress, the months progress, you will then start to adopt more of a slow breath cycle on more of a regular basis. It only took me, a short amount of time, I'd say, between 3 to 6 months, to be able to really start to breathe slowly on more of a regular basis. And what I tend to find now is that as soon as I feel maybe a tinge of anxiousness or stress coming in, it's not often, but if I do, I know straight away, slow my breath down. Because slowing your breath down and doing it on a regular day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis is going to bring calm, it's going to bring balance, and it's going to bring clarity in your world. And at the end of the day, that's all we really want, to be able to live the most peaceful and the most joyful life. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon.